Yeah, please. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Hello. My name is Katisha Charles, and I am a clinical trial specialist in the HIV prevention observation field. Um, I most of my career has been in infectious diseases, particularly STIs. I'm originally from the Caribbean, and in my future, I would like to return to the Caribbean to implement health programs within that same field. Or if I'm exposed to any other parts of the health field, like high blood pressure and more of the non-communicable diseases, I would also like to help with that because the numbers are high down there as well. And I'm located in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, she's in Baltimore.
Yes.
Okay. Anairi, you go next.
Okay, so welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Alairi Vaquero. I work as the program officer here at Multiple Mentoring. I've been with the program for since 2022. I think for, oh my God, 2 years now. I'm an international business professional, and I am from Colombia. I live in Colombia right now as well. Yeah, that's it, I think.
That's your life? That's your entire life?
That's
That's
my
all,
entire life.
that's all that has happened in your life. Eh? Listen, this young lady,
Okay.
let me brag about her. She's only known 2 cities in Colombia. Cincelejo, where she was born, and Barranquilla. She went to the university. And she didn't want to, but it took me 1.5 years to convince her that she has to study in the US or elsewhere in the world. So far, she applied to 4 universities in the US, and she had been admitted to 2.5. We're waiting for the University of Virginia, and she's been accepted. And she has never been to Bogota or any other place in the world. So we are exporting her to another country, a big country, and probably Duke or American. She's been accepted at American and George Washington University. So we may have her here in Washington, or she can go to Durham, North Carolina, or maybe to Richmond in Virginia, to the University of Virginia. So we don't know yet. But that's her story. Okay. So, oh, hello, we have Gustavo.
I'm sorry about the delay. We have no light around here, so it had just arrived the light, so I could
Okay. Well,
link it.
welcome, Gustavo Marie. We're just introducing ourselves. And
Okay.
since you just arrived, I'm going to ask Steve Colbert. I think you have met or seen each other before.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Okay. So, Steve, why don't you introduce yourself, and then
Okay. I'm the same age as Fernando.
Hmm?
And unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave at the hour exactly because I have another commitment
Yeah, okay.
that I'm going to have to make. So
Yeah.
I'm originally from Montreal, Canada, in Quebec, in Canada. I'm now living in Vancouver, in Canada, on the west coast of Canada. I got my medical degree and public health degree, and then I worked locally in Canada for a number of years, and then I was fortunate enough to be able to join the Pan American Health Organization, and I was there for 10 years in disease prevention and control, communicable and non-communicable, but not immunizations. And then I went and taught for a while out here in British Columbia, and now I'm retired for a long time, and I'm still a mentor.
Okay, great.
So there we are.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Gustavo, why don't you tell us your story and then
Well, I'm Gustavo Marin. I'm from Argentina. I work in the National University of La Plata. I'm a head professor of pharmacology there and also of public health. I used to work in France for a few years, and now I do some work for the Pan American Health Organization also, in some missions in Haiti, Guyana, Barbados, Jamaica, Guatemala, and Honduras, and well, always trying to help Minister of Health to build some essential list of medicines for the country, and that's it. I love to work with the students in their projects. I have a long experience with that, so I'm glad to help with this proposal because we I think we are useful in this job. So thank you for inviting me.
thank you, Gustavo.
This is my third year, I think.
Your third year.
Yes, this is my third year.
Wonderful. Akpaka, Geraldine?
Hi,
Oh, okay, here.
um,
Okay, great.
good morning, and very sorry for joining late. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Very sorry for joining late. I don't know if
No, we can hear you.
you can hear me. Okay. So, my name is Apaka Geraldine. I'm from Benin, the Republic of Benin, in the West Africa, and I'm currently in Japan. I'm pursuing a master's degree in public health at Tokyo Medical and Dental University.
You are the first person we have from Benin, from the Republic of Benin. So welcome. We are very happy. My name is Fernando Zacarias. I'm a physician, was born in Mexico, trained in infectious diseases, in medicine, and then in public health. And I work at the Pan American Health Organization for many years. Unfortunately, not too many years. And both Steve says that he has retired. I don't believe him. We have worked for at least 55 years without interruption. Okay, so we have some experience. And I want to tell you, young ladies, these two gentlemen, let me embarrass them. They get so many compliments by their mentees. So please don't choose them. Please don't choose them because they are going to really help you. Choose other people because they need to be trained. These two, let's reserve them for later. Okay, what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you the class of 2024, and then we can open this for discussion. Let me share my screen. Just a moment.
Stephen, you have the air of Robert De Niro.
No,
Someone
you
told you
mixed it.
that.
It's not Robert De Niro. It's Robert Duvall.
Ah, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a mix, no? It's a mix. Okay. Wonderful. Let me see. Can you see?
Gustavo, you're the first person that's told me that today.
Really? Today, yeah.
Hey. every day he has to sign all the autographs, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I've been asked to sign autograph.
Yeah, he Robert Wild comes very often to Argentina because
Yes.
I
The
believe
tango,
wife is from here.
Yeah.
he knows how to dance the tango. We know.
Tango. Yeah. He's a tango dancer.
Okay, see, the idea, young ladies, is to share information about the program and answer any questions that you may have. Unfortunately, we have two mentors that can tell you and give you their own perspective about the program. And then what we expect at the end of the meeting is that everybody has a clear understanding of what we do, what is what we should do, and then start the process of networking. You know, only 3 people, 4 or 5 people from the program, but we expect that as the program develops, you will contact more people and get to know uh, everybody. So this was the introduction, and then I'm going to give you a summary of the class of 2024, who you are, and I'm only going to talk about the mentees. A few highlights about the mentorship, and then we open that for a dialogue for as long as we can, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, to answer any questions that you may have. You already know that what we focus on is the professional development, the personal growth, and the technical ability of our students and young professionals. But we are going beyond that. The second objective of the program is to contribute to a dynamic workforce, but also to a collective intelligence, like a think tank, which may be 20%, 10%, 5% of our mentors and mentees that will come up with some ideas as to how to handle, how to address the issues, not only the problems of the 21st century. So those are the two major objectives, but of course we are focusing on number one. And thus far, we have about 122 countries in the program. By that, I mean countries in which mentors and mentees were born or are residing because they study or work there. And the reason we do this is because people who live in a country or were born in a country have contacts there, have connections there, and know the context about the country. And this is very useful for a network. If somebody wants to go to Benin, now we know that there's somebody from Benin that can give them some tips and some ideas of what's going on. Okay. And our candidates, most of them have been referred by someone who knows Multipod. We do not advertise in social media. About 3 times a year, at the end of the year, we post something in LinkedIn, and then we get some people from LinkedIn. This year we have 35. We could have more, but we have 35. We accept about 75% of the applicants. And usually we have between 5 and 15% mentees who asked us to continue, or they return to the program because they have a new decision to make or they are looking for another opportunity. So that tells us that we are being useful. And those are basically the two main sources of students and young professionals. And in some cases, we have an excess, not an excess, but many people from big universities and schools. For example, the School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine of London, we have about 35 alumni and students from that medical university, Global Health University. And the reason they come is because they say, well, we have tutors, but many times they are so busy that they don't help us with our thesis or the work we want or with opportunities. So we give that service to these young people, and that's why they keep coming to the program. As far as gender, as in many areas of health, females are now the majority, and that is reflected in 70% of our mentees versus 30% males. In the case of mentors, we try to have 50-50. Young women many times want to have a female mentor because they want to learn about the obstacles that a woman professional had to surpass in order to be successful. And in this case, it is the same. The young professionals and the students are about the same proportion, and there are some who are doing both, are young professionals who are studying. And as far as the continents, as the regions they come from, we have many people, most people are from sub-Saharan Africa, and especially from Nigeria and Ghana and Uganda. But we have from everywhere. We have 10 people from Egypt, we have 8 people from Serbia, 8 from Romania, 10, 12 from Germany, etc., etc. So we have a wide distribution. And again, this year we have 83% are new and 6 are continuing. Something very interesting is that we started as a health program, and still about 60% of our mentees come from the health-related disciplines. The other part that is important is we have more than 75 languages represented in the program, and that has proven to be useful, because sometimes somebody asks us to have a translation of something. You can do it via Google or something else, but we have people here who can help us and can do it very rapidly, very, very fast. And this is an example. You can see the first part, they have to do with health, but the other part, the interest of the students, not only the professions or the academic degrees, is what they're interested in. Leadership, biocoloniality, middle-income countries, human development, climate change, international cooperation, etc., etc. And these are the reasons they enter the program. These are the goals that they are pursuing, and most of them are trying to find the pathway and opportunities to follow their pathways. And the second one is finding a job. But they also want to write a paper, continue their academic education, and a few of them, although we are not an academic program, they want to learn something about a technical matter. And here, mentees of this year, Alpaca and Kurtisha, many times you will have a mentor who is not from your same discipline. And that person may not know too much about your specific field. That's an opportunity for the two of you to discuss and learn together. And many times you are the one who has to give your mentor the information, and the mentor can, of course, discuss that with you because they have the experience and the expertise and the framework to help you. I have helped people writing theses on themes that I had no idea about, orbital junk and the European Parliament. I know nothing about that, but we were successful in preparing a thesis. Now, you started your mentorship at the time you applied to the program. Why? Because in our application, we are not only interested in you as an academician or as a young professional, but as a human being. And then, if you haven't thought about that, we ask you to think about your values, for example. And this is very, very, very interesting. Honesty, all the years, has come as a quality that most of our mentees and mentors admire. And then, of course, you have the reverse of the coin: dishonesty, humility, arrogance. They are not in order. But we have done this exercise many times. We haven't analyzed all the data that we have, plenty of data, but it's important because we want you to think of yourselves not only as professionals or students, but as people, well-rounded individuals. And then we ask you, oh, I'm sorry, before that one, we had a previous one. We ask you about decisions. And this morning, somebody was asking me, what is the right answer? Well, here you have one life and three deaths. You have to decide who should receive the transplant of one heart. And here we have 4 different patients and you have to decide. If you don't decide, you get a 0. If you decide, you have to give the reason why you decide that that person had to live. If you come up with some ideas, oh, we need to match the tissues, etc., and we need to do a research with ethicists, etc. No, my friends, you have to make a decision with the information you have here. And it's very interesting because here I put a very beautiful 6-year-old girl. And you see 7 people said, oh yeah, what if I had put a very ugly 6-year-old girl? And most people chose the 62-year-old scientist on the verge of discovering an effective cure for Alzheimer's disease. The other one has to do with something that happens all over the world. Women in many countries are still receiving less money for the same job that men do. And this is another case. Anita is doing exactly the same work as Muro for the same number of years with the same excellence, but she's unmarried. The other guy is married, has 3 children, and he gets 50,000 calabasi and she gets only 35. And there's a country without any labor protection or regulations of any kind. So the question is, how does Anita convince the factory owner to give her a higher salary? Or at least to have some equity in what's happening. And if people, at the end, I ask them, who wins the argument? And of course, most people say, yeah, the owner, because he has the power. And there are some that come with the idea that both can win. And there are some people who said many times it's wishful thinking. Oh, Anita can organize other women and can go and find a lawyer who can represent her, etc. They are talking about change, about social change. And that's something that we are also trying for you to think about. And this is probably one of the most interesting parts. Controversial issues that you are really passionate about. Gender equality, free speech, abortion, dictatorship, same-sex marriage, end-of-life policies. And see what happened. 16 of the 35 said, no, I didn't change my mind, because we asked them to think, we asked you to think about arguments against your own arguments. First, you present your arguments, why you are for abortion, and then why would you be against abortion? And see, 16 continue saying, no, I didn't change my position. And 28% said, yes, I could see the other perspective. And 70% were thinking, now I am not sure. And that is keeping the door ajar. And even if you don't need to change your principles or whatever, or at least you understand where other people are coming from, other ideas. So that's what I wanted to present to you. You already have the 2024 mentorship guide. And what we could do now is I can very briefly show you one slide and then we can discuss that slide. For example, and here the mentors can help me if there's something missing. If you have a mentor, and this is really important because I go to mentoring association meetings, etc. You know what? Many people do not know what a mentor is, or they do not know the difference between a coach, an advisor, a teacher, a mentor, or anything else. So A mentor is everything that we have mentioned. But with a mentor, you establish an interpersonal relationship that you do not establish usually with a teacher, an advisor, and a coach. Because with a mentor, the mentor has the trust in you, the trust in you that he or she can share her own experiences in life, and you can share with him or with her your own experiences. So it's beyond just the technical part, and you can see all the points that we make here regarding what a mentor is doing with you. They are helping you uncover or discover many of the talents that you have and that you don't want to recognize. Many of the young women, what they get out of the program is they say, wow, my self-confidence. A woman with an IQ of 145 didn't dare to apply to a university. And I told her, Andrea, come on. And she was accepted immediately. And sometimes it's that lack of confidence, of self-confidence, that the mentor can enforce on you. And we concentrate, we focus on your strengths. We all have weaknesses or things that we can improve. But I prefer to concentrate on what you are strong and develop that part. Now, I leave this to the mentors now because there are different types of mentoring, and I would like to ask Gustavo and Steve, how do they go about their mentoring? What do they do in the mentoring?
Go ahead, Stephen, if you want. Huh? I follow you.
I think I always start and focus on what the mentee wants, what the objective of why did he or she sign up, and what do they want to get from it. I really focus a lot on that, and I pretty much ask them to let me know what they've done so far about that, and what the obstacles are, and I try to see what I can do to help them. Well, they're all at different stages, but I think the idea is how can I get them to the next stage? And sometimes it means going back and strengthening some areas where they're clearly not going to get what they want from where they are now. And sometimes it's showing different options, and sometimes it's pointing out, well, sometimes it's showing different options and asking them, not immediately, but over time, what they prefer, what they like about this, what they don't like about that. Why would they not do this or that, and what their strengths are and what they're hoping to accomplish. And we go from there. I would rarely tell them what to do, the first one, prescription, but I will point out gently, or they will discover for themselves through the conversation, what is a reasonable thing they should do to move forward towards their goal, whether it's improving their CV or getting making use of some contacts, or looking up different programs, or how to network with different people, or whatever it is. We will go over all of those, whatever is appropriate for them. they will hopefully think about that by the end of the session and will let me know how they're doing or what's changed, because they can change too. They may try something and say, well, you know, I really didn't like that. Okay, that's fine. Or this didn't really work. Or I had to learn to speak English better.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't able to sign on to a program yet, or whatever it is, doesn't matter. And so we'll go from there. I don't. The developmental one sounds a little more prescriptive than I am. I'm a little more. I don't ask them to set an agenda. I certainly help build positive attitudes, I hope, and help develop effective strategies and share knowledge. But I don't set an agenda. They go by their pace, and
Well, that is actually the agenda is a euphemism. What
Yeah.
we mean by that in this case is not point 1, point 2, point 3. What we mean by that is that they should have something to talk about. Okay? Because some mentees say, I didn't know what to ask my mentor. Okay? Sometimes they have no idea and they go to the meeting without expecting that something magical is going to happen. So it's very good. So you can hear that, Gustavo. I'm going to give you the next one and see if you can talk about different modalities of mentoring, because we have used all of this in the program. For example, Steve Korber had this guy Tojib Abdul Karim 1 year. The next year, he had Diogo Martins from Portugal as his mentor. And then when he wanted to come back the third year, I said, no, you know, it's the third year. We need to give your space to somebody else. So I referred him to another program, to the Canadian program. He went to the Canadian program, and I was also in that program. So I became his mentor in the Canadian program. So he had 3 mentors in sequence. And at the end, he was able to accomplish what he needed to accomplish. You know, he went to WHO and had his internship, etc., etc. But here is some of the modalities, and for you, Akpaka and Kurtisha.
I believe, Fernando, that maybe it should suit with the type of mentee, the way she or he is and prefer. For example, I believe the informal mentoring. It's I had one of the mentees that I had that prefers that, because informal chats will give you more information that maybe schedule mentoring. So she asked for some meetings, even if we have no plan that, because something happens, or so what I feel is that maybe the our job is to give some other points of view that the mentee is having for his life, for example. So one mentee from some country that is like my country, that is poor, or it's hoping to have some stage overseas in order to have some uh, better expectations of the academic future. But maybe the solution is in their own country. So if we speak freely with the mentees, I think the solution comes it comes easier in that way. So that's what I feel from informal mentoring. But I have some other mentees that prefer a special agenda packed 1 week at the end of the month of connecting 1 hour specifically. So what I said, it depends on the mentee. I feel I can fix in one way and in other, and I can help both of them. So I don't know if I these have yeah. I'll go ahead, but
Gustavo, you had, I think at one point we had 2 or 3 ladies from Serbia who are pharmacists. I
yeah.
think, did you see them at the same time?
No, just one. Yeah, and
Okay.
yes, I believe that one of them we helped them to get some scholarship in another country to become to he went to even in Europe, but in another country. But what I feel in some cases is that what they expect is to, for example, we have someone from Ethiopia. I don't know if you remember, Fernando, that wanted to go abroad in a stage, and we helped her to have that stage. But what we did also is to help them to construct their strengths to have a better future in their own country. I don't know. It's just it's not a specific formula, but it should be adapted to the mentee needs. So that's what I feel. It's not an unique formula to have success, but it depends on what mentees needs, and with the chats with the mentees, and that we can extract some it's some information that will be needed to get around with the mentor work. No?
Thank you, Gustavo. See, we don't have a formal curriculum, but we focus on 3 areas: your personal growth, your professional development, write a resume, how to conduct an interview, and the technical and scientific knowledge will depend on your needs, what you need, what you want to learn or to discuss with your mentor. But we have also this schema about the 9 questions about your future, your pathways. You need to know who you are, what you are, and what is your ikigai. And for your opportunities, you need to know what is what you want and how do you find and get what you want. And finally, how do you choose, when do you choose, and how do you know this is it? And this is important because people can come here, can come here, can come here, or at the same time may have different needs regarding their future. So that's what your mentor can help you. And these are the 3 questions for each one of the pathways, opportunities, and decisions. That's what we call pathways, opportunities, decisions, or pod, or multi-pod. And this is the Ikigai, the intersection of your mission, vocation, passion, and profession. We don't need to go into that because this is something you are going to be working on during your mentorship. Something that I want to mention before we end is that there are only 2 requirements in the program. One is to participate in the monitoring and evaluation. In May, we do the first monitoring session just to see if everything is going okay. And here you see what we check, And there are 3 questions for you with multiple choice to see if you are satisfied and if the mentorship is going to produce good results. At the end, you tell us your prognosis of the mentorship. And this is the opportunity for you to say, well, I am not sure. Please get in touch with us because we can always do something about that. Sometimes it's a technical issue, a time zone issue. That's common sometimes that you cannot meet with your mentor. Sometimes could be communication because of the different accents that we all have, or could be that there's no chemistry. You feel intimidated by your mentor, or your mentor is not able to discuss with you what you want to discuss, etc., etc. The program is for you, mentees. So, and your mentors, we have gone through that. We have had many experiences. So do not worry. The program is for you. Okay. And then at the end of the year, we try to see where you are, how you advance, as Steve was telling us. And here are some examples. I never take initiative as an advancement. But for example, when you are talking about getting a desired job, well, you initiate because you do a thorough research on the institutions you want to apply to. But it's in progress when you are sending your applications. And then almost achieve when you get, oh, please come for an interview. Or you achieve when you get a job offer. And the same thing with the academic. And what we are, in the beginning, we try to measure only achievement. But for example, at the university, you don't get the notification until the following year. So we didn't get too many achievements regarding people who apply for an advanced degree because we didn't know until the next year. So what we are looking is this advancement. And if you have, in the beginning, we asked for 14 sessions, then we went to 10, then we went to 7. And you know what? What happened? People cannot even meet 7 times in 9 months. And sometimes I'm shocked because I say 7 times in 9 months, of course you can do it. And that's why we ask them now to meet 10 times in 9 months. And well, this is one of the ways we measure that. And I wanted to show you this number of sessions and results of mentorship, equal or less than 6, equal or more than 6, career pathway, job, etc. And these are all only almost achieved and achieved. And you see the difference between 7 and more or 6 and less. And here you have a table, and these are significant, and we're talking about several years. So it's 135 who were able to complete, to find their pathway out of 178 versus 60 out of 130. So some of these results are significant, especially in pathways, job, and in the case of other. And other could be self-confidence, could be whatever. But there's a reason why we ask to have a certain number of sessions.
That is difficult to measure the other skills. No, it's quite difficult. It's easy to measure if you publicate or not, or if you get a job or not. But the skills, the general skills, the mentees get with the interaction is quite difficult to measure. But well, it's a subject.
What were the no? These are basically, the majority are technical. For example, they wanted to learn something about epidemiology, or about one case about antimicrobial resistance of microbial tuberculosis, for example. And they say, "Oh, I learned a lot." But of course, you cannot quantify that the same way you can quantify a job.
Yeah.
Job.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're
Correct.
Okay, and here we put as a threshold 70% to say that you were successful, and these are good to excellent. And these are not matched, but there are several years, and this is the opinion of mentees and mentors. If they thought that the mentorship was positive, rating from good to excellent. Again, it was subjective, and in this case, it was pathways, job, academic, publication, the other, which was basically. I see. This is really interesting. In this case, the mentors are the ones who said that it was better results than the mentees, especially this other. Again, we need to analyze all of this because we have lots of data, but we don't have the time. We haven't had the time to analyze 400 applications and more than 70 mentors, but we have a treasure of data that need to be analyzed. And finally, mentees, what do you give us? We ask one question: what can you teach your mentor? And some of the responses were really interesting. I can teach my mentor to bake cookies, for example, or I can. Oh, okay. No, but this is very important. You validate our lives. The fact that you are asking us to help you means that we have something of value to give you. We feel useful. You may make us feel useful. You work with us and we work with you. And it's always very nice to feel respected and admired. You shouldn't be shy about that. Wow, this young person thinks that I'm good. And perhaps there are some qualities that I have that she would like to imitate. You don't know how stimulating it is to have a conversation with one of you. It's discovering new worlds, new stars, new planets, etc. Memory retrieval, I need that all the time. And Ailey is my extra brain, my good brain, okay, because she reminds me of what I need to do. Inspiration and enthusiasm, strength and energy, trust and confidence, and most of all, faith and hope for the future. Because you have no idea how good you are. You have no idea how good you are. In these times where you are exposed to so much information and misinformation, and you have to see what's right, what's wrong, where to go, what not to do. Our lives, Mentor Gustavo, Mentor Steve, and myself, were almost preordained. We went into medicine and we knew what was going to happen with our studies and our lives. For you, it's going to be completely different. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock, and I think that's
Can I just make two quick comments? Because I really do have to leave.
Right.
The first one is anybody can do things with statistics and graphs. The 7 and 6 gives the one where you've been to 7 or more or 6 or less, gives the impression that if you've been to 7, you're going to be a success, and if you've been to 6, you're not going to be a success. But in fact, the people under 6 could have been 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. And the people that are marked as 7 could have been actually 10 or 12. And so it's not really 7 against 6. It's against more than 7 or less than 6, as you point out. And a more accurate thing may have been to show the whole range from 0 to 14 and see what the curve actually looks like. That's a small point. The other thing that I hadn't mentioned when I was given the opportunity is that asking us what we can do. It's happened to me several times that the mentee that I've had knows a lot of other people and has done a lot of research on their own into whatever it is they're going to do. whether it's go to a university or write a research paper or whatever. And they often belong to lots of clubs and have lots of friends who are doing things. But what often comes up in the discussions that they have is our experience. And it's not uncommon for someone to say, well, I discussed that with my friends, but what you said, I haven't really heard from anybody else. You just you're older and you think a little bit differently, and it's not better or worse. It's just another thing that they can put and use. No. And the other thing is similar to that is specifically for people in sub-Saharan Africa or in countries like Serbia or other places that haven't had the exposure to different countries or different worlds, or like Anali, who hasn't been outside of Colombia. Just speaking to somebody from another country, a completely different experience can be very helpful. Just not by them saying anything, this is the way we do it where I come from, but just the way we talk or the way we think is just different. And that can be helpful. So just being who we are sometimes without even realizing it, just the way the mentees are with us, just by being with who they are, they inspire us, they change us, they stimulate us, etc. There's stuff going on beneath the surface that is very helpful, I think, can be very helpful. Isn't always, sometimes it is. Sorry for going over.
No. And guys, you make us better mentors by being our mentees. Each one of you. And what Steve was saying, yes, we have the data with the range, and after 15 sessions you go down. And some people have 3 sessions, and if the mentee has already sent the application, in 3 sessions everything can be okay. The same thing with the thesis. But this is in general, and we have the data point by point by numbers. So
I think the mentors would like to see that. I don't know about the mentees.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have to leave. I'm sorry. I really am.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And
the store I'm going to closes in 10 minutes.
See you, Stephen.
Well,
Bye-bye.
young ladies, young mentees, thank you, Steve. If you have any comments or questions, we talk, and now is your time to talk and tell us something about what you think about the mentorship or your expectations.
I can go first. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I do travel for the job, so in different time zones. So I just want some grace with that, with my mentor. I've had to drop other classes because of that. And I wanted to know when we would be assigned the mentor.
Yeah, actually, we have the deadline for you to tell us which mentor with which 3 mentors you would like to work with until the 14th of this month. Today is what is the 7th? 7th. So you have 7 more days to let us know. Don't spend too much time. And if there's one mentor whose profile you like, please mention that name or the name of 2 others, and we'll try to assign you to one of them. You are not getting married, okay? So in May you can tell us, no, I would like to change, etc. And the mentors will understand, okay?
Yeah.
But usually,
and you have to get 3 choices, as Fernando says. Yeah.
so this is better than what you do in real life. In real life, one person, and you say, oh, he's
Yeah.
my mentor. Here you have 3, okay? And you can get one of them. And if you don't like that mentor, you just go like that.
Okay.
Okay.
I've already sent my choices in. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And well, Gustavo, thank you so much. And one day I'm going to send you the comments by your mentees. Okay. So
Okay. Hey. Okay.
that on your wall.
Thank you. Well, see you, and see you around.
Thank you very much, Gustavo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies,
Bye, everyone.
so I say so long to you, and we'll see you soon again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye, bye.